Hi guys, it's Cecile. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm an incoming freshman at Brown University, majoring in biology and history as a pre-med. And like I've said in multiple other videos, the reason I keep saying incoming freshman, even though literally the school year has started, is because due to the coronavirus, Brown is doing a trimester plan. So basically, all of us freshmen aren't technically enrolled in the school until the spring and summer trimesters. So even though they're giving us like a free class right now in the fall just to like keep us happy and everything like that, like I'm not technically enrolled in college until January. So yeah, I'm an incoming freshman. But anyways, I made this channel to basically share with you guys the advice that I wish I had known in high school when it comes to college applications and just life in general. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell to keep up with all the videos that I post on here. And guys, I'm promising you this right now, like once I'm actually in college, like my content on YouTube is gonna be so good. Like not to be biased or anything, but like I feel like when I'm actually on campus, I'll like be able to show like the true me, like personality and all, because honestly I'm pretty crazy and I feel like I can't like yell and cry and do all that stuff in my videos while I'm at home, like up here in my office or whatever. So definitely stay tuned for that and make sure you subscribe to my channel to keep up with all that content. Okay, but now the stuff that I know you guys actually came here for, I'm gonna be reading my Brown supplemental essays that I basically submitted to get into the school. And honestly, like I will say, these aren't my favorite essays. Like if I could go back and redo these essays, I genuinely would, mostly because like I feel like these essays didn't really stand out as much as my other essays. Like when I was applying to Brown, I only did it because my dad forced me to. Like I've said in many other videos, after I got deferred from Yale, like the 16th of December, I went into like panic mode and I decided, oh, I'm gonna apply to 9 more schools. And my dad's like, add Brown to them. And I was like, no, I don't want to go there. It's for hippies. But then he made me go and like apply. So I basically wrote these essays on a whim, and so I'm really shocked I even got it. Yeah, it's really interesting that I actually wasn't interested in Brown and I didn't actually research the school like at all until February, which was like obviously after I applied. Like I couldn't change anything at that point in time. But like in February, I began to fall in love with the school and I realized like how good of a fit Brown was. And then I like obsessed over the school and everything. So yeah, I'm super glad I applied and I'm ready to share my essays now, so you guys don't have to hear me ramble anymore. I'm sorry. Also, honestly, I wasn't planning on sharing these, but considering that my Common App essay reading like honestly blew up, like we're almost at 10,000 views already, which is super crazy, and like everyone's saying it's really good, and it just like really made my day, honestly, to read all those comments and everything. So I was like, you know what, I think I'm comfortable enough to share this stuff with you guys, so hopefully you don't hate this as much or think of me in any different way now. Alright, so I know that for this year's applicants, there are only 3 Brown essays because you guys don't have the extracurricular essay, I think, that we had last year. But yeah, when I applied last year, there were 4 essays, so I'm going to be reading all 4 of those. And the thing is, even though you don't have that extracurricular essay this year that you do have to complete, schools like Harvard actually ask you the exact same question. Schools like University of Michigan, that kind of stuff, they ask the exact same question. So I'm going to read it anyways because it's a very common one. And the prompt for this essay was, please briefly elaborate on one of your extracurricular activities or work experiences that was particularly meaningful to you. And the response is about 150 words. You can't go over that, obviously, so that's basically your maximum. And this is what I wrote. To find me, look for the girl reciting her speech by talking to the wall. My hands mime every word, matching my eyes full of passion. By writing every word I speak, I ensure my personality shines alongside my messages. Previously, I hesitated when sharing my personal opinions, as I worried others would disagree and dismiss my ideas. I forced myself to peacefully follow others and accepted that my weak personality could not thrive in speech and debate. Although disagreements build walls, I soon learned my argumentative defenses broke them down. Today, I communicate my concerns about the Lebanese wars threatening my family and poverty gripping local Toledo children. I have a platform to establish a connection between my topic and everyone listening, so I speak for those who cannot. Speech and debate teaches me that opposition cannot prevent my movement away from walls and onto larger platforms. So I actually do like this essay. I liked the whole wall analogy. Like, if you're not familiar with speech and debate, basically all the speechies go and talk to walls, and that's how they practice, because obviously like you don't have an audience to talk to, so it's like kind of weird when you go to competitions and everything and you see people like talking to walls and like miming and stuff. But that was like a really big part of my high school career, and if you guys like listen to my extracurricular videos and stuff, like obviously like I was really involved in speech and debate. It was a huge part of my life, and so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about it, even though I did talk about it already kind of in my Common App, like it was a component of it. But yeah, I think this went more into detail about how like in my speeches, especially my original oratory speeches, which are meant to be like persuasive, I try to focus on social issues that people need to know about, things that people need to be aware about in my speeches for speech and debate. And that was a really big part of my involvement in the activity. So yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about. And I'm actually proud of this essay. I do like this essay. Also, once again, guys, like obviously, like I talk in a very performative way. Like I'm sorry, like I really act out my essays, I guess, even though they're not that exciting. Like it's literally just raw information, like raw words, but like I like talking in that way, so sorry if it bothers you. All right, so essay number 2, this is one that you guys are actually gonna have to write, so I'd suggest paying attention to this one. But anyways, it's basically the open curriculum essay, and in this essay, Brown really tries to find those students that actually want to take advantage of the open curriculum. Like if you're applying to Brown and you want to do a major like engineering, let's say, but you only want to study engineering, you don't really want to have to take any humanities classes again, you don't have any interest beyond STEM and just engineering, then I wouldn't really suggest applying to Brown. Because the point of Brown and this whole open curriculum technically is to get you to explore all those other interests, because the fact is that we don't have requirements for a reason. Like we don't want to be held down by these requirements like, oh, you have to take this, you have to take this. Brown wants us to explore the things we care about, and for that reason, most of the time when you're like at Brown and everything, you'll find that the people in your classes are actually super passionate about the material being studied because they chose to be in that class. There was no requirement for them to be in that class, so it really creates this like really encouraging environment, and I absolutely love it. Even though I've only had the experience of one class, I'm gonna read that prompt and essay now. So as some of you guys know, the prompt is, Brown's open curriculum allows students to explore broadly while also diving deep into their academic pursuits. Tell us about academic interest or interests that excites you and how you might use the open curriculum to pursue it. And the maximum is 250 words, and this is what I wrote. My first experience with a microscope in 6th grade offered me the luxury of looking beyond textbook images. I watched cells become more defined with the turn of a knob and switch of a lens. This humble revelation instantly captured my interest in the sciences, especially microbiology. Biology's curriculum was never-ending and covered everything from cells to large organisms. One day, I could examine the virulence of lytic viruses, and the next, I could study speciation over the decades. Although the humanities and sciences seem distinct, biology owes history for its existence. History bridges time and science as it displays how discoveries have built upon each other. For example, while creating new influenza vaccines, scientists expect historical trial and error. This mutualistic relationship has intensified my interest in studying history alongside science. At Brown, my goals for interdisciplinary learning are viable and encouraged. The school's open curriculum welcomes diversity in college education while empowering students to study subjects that might not always correlate with each other. At Brown, I will not feel obligated to choose either the sciences or the arts. I can experiment with my courses and focus on learning what I love, rather than stressing about whether a class meets my concentration's requirements. During one semester, I can study the principles of immunology. The following semester, I can take Professor Emily A. Owen's class, Narratives of Slavery. With no restraints barring me from studying what I love, I know I will thrive in Brown's academic curriculum. So the thing about this essay, I really like how I connected the humanities and sciences, because technically, like, it's true, like, none of the subjects we have today would exist without history. So I really capitalized on that, but I don't know. I feel like I could have gone into more detail with this, and there are just some things I don't like about it, but it's okay. Like, honestly, like, the essay's pretty good, and I'm just, like, really self-conscious about my essays, like, after I write them, except for my Common App essay, because I really, really love that Common App essay. So yeah, that's pretty much my open curriculum essay. We're going to move on to another essay that you guys are going to have to do, and this is basically the community essay. So, like, this is the one that says, at Brown, you will learn as much from your peers outside the classroom as in academic spaces. How will you contribute to the Brown community? And like the last one, this has a maximum of 250 words. This is your chance to basically prove to Brown that you're a quirky person. Like, this is your chance to show your personality. This is your chance to basically talk about all the things that aren't academic about you that are also super interesting. Like your weird hobbies, your fun quirks, like the things that really make you unique. And so I really liked this essay format, and although I would still change my essay now if I could, I liked the intro paragraph to this essay. So let me read that real quick. My academic interests are strange, but I stay true to what I love and share my interests with everyone around me. After all, who doesn't want to learn fun facts about things like the tapeworm diet, Kuru, and the birthday paradox? Although others may initially feel confused when I gush about how cool botulism is, through a biological perspective, of course, I hope to encourage others to express their interests on campus. Other than contributing fun and bizarre facts, I plan on becoming involved in a variety of organizations at Brown. After 5 years of participating in Science Olympiad, I want to be on the other side of the competition, making tests and planning the event. Thus, I intend to join the Brown University Science Olympiad group to organize their February Invitational. This ensures that high schoolers like myself can benefit from the activity. Additionally, I aim to expand beyond my speech and history performances and join Comic Sans. This improv group would allow me to practice improvisational speaking beyond what I learned in my drama class. Following 6 years of community service at my library, I've developed an appreciation for helping students around me achieve their goals. For this reason, I want to join Best Buddies at Brown. This group focuses on making an impact on adults with disabilities. Just as I will learn from the peers around me at Brown, I plan on learning about the stories these adults have to tell and being their listening ear. Sorry for my occasional stumbles, I haven't rehearsed this at all. I honestly just look at it and I read. So that's pretty much how it goes in most of my videos. But anyways, yeah, this definitely shows how quirky I am. I feel like I literally mentioned this tapeworm diet and the fact that I like parasites and diseases in literally every essay. But guys, it's so true. I love this stuff and I'm not gonna be shy about it. And it's fun. Check out my YYGS speech if you want to read my speech on tapeworms. A little self-promo right there. The irony, I think, with this essay is everything that I said I wanted to join are things I'm actually doing right now. For example, I said I wanted to join the Brown University Science Olympiad group so I could, organize their invitational and everything. And I actually just got back from a call with the Brown University Science Olympiad group. And this year, we're actually doing an invitational with Harvard. So if you guys are in Science Olympiad, you should totally register for the Brown Harvard Invitational. And I'll be rating the water quality test. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that. And also, I'm definitely, still interested in improv and improvisational speaking. I literally can't say that word. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm still interested in that, but I can't actually participate till I get to campus, so that's a spring issue. But yeah, I'm still interested in that and still interested in volunteering and stuff. So yeah, it's not I lied or anything. This stuff basically tells a lot about my personality, and I'm holding true to what I wrote in this essay. Okay, and now for the last supplemental essay, another one that you guys will have to write. This is the one that says, tell us about a place or community you call home. How has it shaped your perspective? And the maximum is 250 words. So I think with this one, a lot of people try to be basic. I've literally read essays with this one where they call their school their home, or they call an organization their home, but it's a really basic thing. But I think you really shouldn't be afraid to go a little bit outside of the box with this. It doesn't have to be something that you would normally call oh, my home away from home, but it just has to be something that's really unique to you, I guess, or something that's really important to you. I'm not discouraging you from saying your school or anything, but I'm just warning you that some things might be super overused. For example, calling your English class home because a lot of people are in there and it's super supportive and you love your teacher. That's a basic example. Try to think a little bit outside of the box with this one if you can. If not, it's totally okay. I'm not an admissions officer. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do, but I will tell you, I've read a lot of supplementals so far for students applying to Brown. And there are some things that I'm seeing over and over again. And that's just from the small sample that I've seen, the essays that I've seen. And so it makes me wonder, what's the admissions office seeing? If I'm just seeing this repetitiveness, they're probably seeing the exact same thing. And it probably doesn't make you stand out if you're writing about the exact same thing that other people are writing about, unless you have a unique twist on it. But anyways, enough of that spiel. Sorry, I love interjecting little college essay advice tips into every single thing I say. That's literally just become my life from now on, with me being at home and me reviewing essays literally daily. So yeah, that's the vibe. I'm going to read my essay now. Since 2013, one of my favorite hobbies has been encouraging library patrons to join the summer reading club. Following 6 years of this volunteer mission, my public library resembled home. I believe the best feeling is seeing a child eagerly chart their reading progress while gushing over the new titles they rented. However, my branch serves the most underprivileged area in Toledo. Many patrons walk 20 to 30 minutes as they lack access to a vehicle. The children in these families have a considerable disadvantage when it comes to their education, due to insufficient public school funding. I volunteer to provide a level of support for these kids that is not guaranteed to them in life. As these kids strive to finish reading challenges, they overcome barriers and show me that one's learning and consciousness relies on their efforts. Last year, I combined my love for speech and debate with my volunteering. During the library's free lunches, I organized and played speech games with the kids involved. We commenced the summer by finishing each other's sentences and concluded by acting out stories. My activity changed my perspective on the definition of impactful. I watched the self-proclaimed shy kid end the summer by audibly participating. I watched my program grow from 3 kids to 20. With every new participant, the group's liveliness flourished. My pride in these kids rivals what I previously believed was the best feeling. I really like this essay, don't get me wrong, like I really think it's a cute essay and it shows a lot about me loving my volunteering efforts, and Brown really likes people that are involved in their community in addition to all that quirkiness and everything. So I do think they like this essay of mine, but the only thing I would change, I feel like I wasn't descriptive enough. Like if I was editing it, like there's a lot of telling here. And it was hard for me, honestly, because at this point, like, I really didn't care. Like, I was doing this for the hell of it, just to finish it, you know? But I'm really glad that it worked out for me in the end. And I'm happy with the product, but there are ways I could have improved my essays, and I'm aware of that. And I'm just letting you guys know, like, nobody's perfect. Like, you could read something or write something, and then a year later, you absolutely hate it. Like, that's just how it works. Think about when you take pictures with people and you post it on Instagram and you're like, oh my God, this is so cute. Or you take a selfie and you're like, wow, I look so good in this. And then like a week later, or maybe a day later, you look at it and you're like, oh my God, this is so hideous. Like, why did I ever post that? Or like when you look at your Snapchat memories and it's like, oh my gosh, why did I ever do that? And it's a year later, something like that. I don't know, sorry with all the analogies, but it's true. Like, you look back on things and you really change your mind about them. So don't get discouraged if you hate your essays a year from now, is pretty much what I'm saying, because it happens to all of us. And I think the only essay I probably won't hate for a while is my Common App essay. So yeah, those are my Brown supplemental essays. And honestly, I think those essays said a lot about me. Like, you can obviously tell I like speech and debate from the fact that I mentioned it so many times. But I'm really passionate. I'm really quirky. I love helping people in my community. I'm really a people's person. I basically wrote down like a ton of traits that I would use to describe myself, and I tried to make sure that those traits were evident in the essays that I wrote. And I think it worked out. I think that Brown probably saw this and went, wow, she's quirky. Kind of crazy though, kind of creepy with her love and botulism and everything or whatever. But she's also a compassionate person who cares about her community, cares about the people around her. I think that was also evident in my video profile. The only comment I actually have from my admissions officer is he did tell me that video profile was part of the reason I got in, because they loved it so much and it said a lot about me. And this is because like I had a call with him afterwards. Like, he scheduled a call with us Ohioans and Midwestern people that he reviewed the applications of and basically admitted. And I don't know, I think that brought a lot of insight into my application and everything, because it's interesting to see how they reacted to that video that I thought was a mess. Like, they actually liked my video profile, and I'd like to think that they saw those same traits that were reflected in that video profile reflected in my essays. So I'm happy with it. Like, honestly, I can't even hate on myself that much, because like obviously it's like I got it now, like it's over with. But I will tell you guys, like, try not to rush all of your essays until that last week of December. I was literally writing 9 different school essays that last week, and it was so stressful. But I also did that because I was really badly confident that I was gonna get into Yale. And what I mean by that is I was really confident about it, but that was a bad thing, because I shouldn't have been confident, because Yale and all these other Ivy Leagues and all these top schools are really unpredictable. Like, even if I went to a summer program there or did research there or whatever it is, like, I don't have a guaranteed acceptance, and I shouldn't have assumed that, and that's what stressed me out. And honestly, it took me a week to recover from the fact that I was deferred, but like, you know, we're over that now. But yeah, so this is a last minute application, but I'm so thankful that I was forced to apply, and I am super happy, and I wouldn't change anything about the school that I committed to, even though I haven't actually visited it yet. But it looks really pretty and everyone's really nice, and I'm really excited, and I love my professor for this one class I'm taking this fall. And I could just sit here basically and ramble about everything Brown related. But if you actually want to hear me ramble or hear advice or anything, you can always feel free to DM me on Instagram as usual. That's in the description, and it's basically literally my name on Instagram, so Cecile S, and that's difficult to spell, so you should probably check the description. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel just in general. Like, I'm super excited to grow this channel, like, once I get to undergraduate years, like when I'm actually at Brown, and then when I'm at med school, hopefully, and the rest of my life, basically. So yeah, thanks for supporting my videos, and I will see you guys next Monday. Lots of love!